Inside most churches, the walls are filled with silent stories of faith, from stained glass windows depicting various saints to wooden pews that have been worn in by generations of worshipers, even with hymnals that are filled with sacred songs. But what happens when a chapel's walls are devoted entirely to canines? My name is David. Welcome to a very unusual church visit number 35 of 52 churches in 52 weeks, round 3, a project born out of curiosity, faith, and a love for stories. A few years ago, I was searching for some unusual churches to visit, and I stumbled across the Dog Chapel. This is tucked in the rolling hills of St. Johnsbury, Vermont, and it was built by an architect. His name was Stephen Huneck, and it was built as a sanctuary, not just for people, but also for canine companions, both living and those that are dearly departed. For anyone that's had to say goodbye to their best furry friend, the Dog Chapel hits differently because its walls, from floor to ceiling, are covered with photos, notes, and heartfelt tributes to various dogs and some cats that have passed away. Even outside, it's not just about bittersweet nostalgia, but dogs of all types can run around its grounds, just run, play, swim, anything available just to be a dog. Before we dig in, and that pun was intended, with this one-of-a-kind, unique chapel, I want to touch on something real quick that is close to my heart. For this third round of 52 and 52, we're trying to do something more and help out those that are in need. So we're doing our fundraiser for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital that helps families who have children that are going through catastrophic diseases. So far, we've raised $24,000, which is just absolutely amazing. Our goal by the 52nd and final church is to have hit $52,000. So $5, $2, $52, whatever is within your means. If you can help out for this amazing cause, every little bit makes a difference. Want to say thank you very much for those that have helped out. So leash up, grab some kibbles and bits. We're going to take a 1-minute tour of the Dog Chapel and see how this blends art, memory, and man's best friend in one little chapel. So one thing right off the bat, unlike other type of church videos that I typically do on this channel, this will not be a very detailed recap. I was only inside the Dog Chapel for about 15 minutes. Even from that standard, I probably was in there longer than most people. It probably would have helped if I had a dog with me, just because everyone that was in this area that was attending Dog Mountain, the Dog Chapel, I was shocked the day that I visited just how many people were there that day. And again, this is one of those things where this visit was just very different, very reflective, very somber even, because this was much more a memorial for dogs and love. And if you do have a dog, that is part of your family. And me personally, I don't have a dog, so it's like it just didn't hit me the same way that I could tell other people were experiencing when I was inside. So because of that, I almost felt a little like I didn't quite belong because I didn't have any type of card or note or just heartfelt tribute I could contribute to this Dog Chapel. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just kind of touch a little bit how it was built and just real briefly what I experienced from my visit. So Dog Mountain, this is about 150 acres in Vermont. When I was walking around, I was surprised how remote, how open things were. There was a pond, there were trails. Dogs were just running all over the place off leash. It was created by a Vermont couple named Stephen and Gwen Huneck. They were both artists, and they had their home and studio in this area. So they got married in the 80s, and they spent their entire lives just creating art and just pursuing their dreams. And it sounds like they had lost their dogs years earlier. So Stephen felt that because we have so many rituals and milestones, but there's really not a whole lot when it comes to the passing of a pet or a dog. So he thought of maybe doing something with his artistry to honor that relationship between a pet owner and his or her pet. So with his love for dogs and with his work as a woodcarver and as an artist, in 2000, he started to go to work on the dog chapel. And he created this as an 1820s New England style type of colonial church. And it was designed as a place where people could celebrate, could mourn, could honor their beloved pets. So over time, it was open to the public. And it's interesting to see on their website because you see the walls just completely open and bare. And it was encouraged, and you can see one of the signs inside that tell people you can pretty much tape any type of picture, any type of note, any type of tribute that you want for your pet, as long as it's, nothing crazy or too much. And as a result, you have just hundreds, if not thousands, of different memories that are filled in the dog chapel. Despite creating this powerful memorial for pets, the 2008 financial crisis really hit the Hunecks hard. And tragically, Stephen took his own life in 2010, followed by Gwen in 2013. Despite the hardships and just the pain that happened from that, Dog Mountain and the Dog Chapel have endured, and it was picked up as a nonprofit called Friends of Dog Mountain, and it still operates today just to offer pet owners joy and remembrance on these grounds. From my visit, again, I was surprised just how packed parking was. So when I got there, I found there was only like one or two parking spots that was available on this mountain. And the first thing that you do is you walk into their gift shop. The gift shop is actually quite large, and you see all types of dog art all over the place. And they had one room devoted entirely to the Hunecks, even a little bit of a biography video on Dog Mountain. And with the Hunecks and with Stephen Huneck specifically, his art is just his style is so unique compared to anything else that other people may do. So when you walk outside the gift shop, you see the Dog Chapel, and that is the spiritual center of Dog Mountain. And it's interesting because there is no denomination. There is no focus on any specific type of religion. Even that, they have this giant sign out front that says, "Welcome all creeds, all breeds, no dogmas allowed." And walking inside for the brief 10 to 15 minutes that I was inside, they have these unique pews with the dog artistry, the wood carvings inside. And I was just struck by how many pictures and heartfelt notes that were just adorned on these walls. Again, maybe hundreds, maybe thousands, just decorated all over. And with the stained glass windows, with some of the dogs that were featured on there, the one feeling that I got is it was unique to have so many messages of love for pets united under one roof. So what was bizarre to me, maybe not bizarre is the right word, but I saw a number of people that walked in and, they may not typically go to a traditional type of church, but you could tell with those that were inside, to my surprise, it was just so quiet and it was reverent among all visitors that walked in. And people stood in silence. People were studying the pictures and notes inside, tears in their eyes. I saw a number of people where, like, even a couple, like, you couldn't pin anything, but you could tape pictures or notes. And this couple was spending a large amount of time just kind of deciding where to put their note because it just had that much of an impact on them. And, it was this shared experience of grief, of love, and also of healing. And, with pets, for many, it's a part of the family. And I walked out of this visit, not with any type of overwhelming sensation like I typically have at other churches, but I was surprised. I was shocked at just the level of somber, the level of reflection that was happening for those that were going inside. And like, again, I don't have a pet, so it didn't hit me as strong, but this was just such a different feeling of almost innocence, of loss, but just this abounding love at the same time. Hope you enjoyed this very brief look into the dog chapel. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit notifications for future visits. I'm going to have some upcoming videos on a Catholic brutalist church, which will be very interesting because it is a very unique and specific type of architecture that you don't see anywhere else, especially in the United States. And I'm also looking to do a video on a YSA stake conference when I was in New York City. But until next time, hope you have a good one.